Wow, can you believe it's nearly that time of the year again? Whether it's dyeing eggs or hiding them in the backyard for a little hunt, Easter is nearly here. So in this video, I'm going to share 20 Easter crochet patterns that are perfect to make this holiday season. And I'll be separating all of these patterns into 3 different categories: home decor, more religious patterns, and amigurumi. And as always, all of the links to all of these patterns can be found on my blog post, which is linked in the description box below. To get started, I'm going to share some home decor Easter crochet patterns with you. First is the Easter treat bag by Crafty Bram. This is a really simple pattern that could be easily whipped up in about a crafting session, and you only need to know how to do the basic stitches. It's worked in the round to create and is about 18 centimeters from the top to the bottom and 10 centimeters from the opening to the very top. And this one will be perfect for Easter egg hunting and putting all of those little candies or chocolate eggs into. Another really whimsical piece to make is this sunny side up pot holder by Garn Studio. The total measurements are 22 centimeters or 8 3/4 inches in diameter. And I thought this one would be perfect as Easter themed kitchen decor, but could also be used for any time of the year. And this one's also worked in the round and would be pretty quick to work up. And would it be even Easter without a basket? You could crochet an Easter basket like this one by Crochet 365 Knit 2. The basket measures about 9 inches or 23 centimeters tall and about 4 inches or 10 centimeters for the handle. The diameter of the bag is about 6.5 inches or 16.5 centimeters. And this one has some pretty neat tips and tricks for it, like it uses a pipe cleaner for the handle, which helps it to hold its shape. Or you could make a lovely Easter lily like this pattern by Moogly Blog. To create this one, first you create the stamens, then the petals, then the trumpet and the trumpet cap. The finished flower is about 7.5 inches or 19 centimeters wide and only takes about a few hours to make. And this one would be really cool to whip up and make into a little spring Easter themed bouquet. And you don't have to worry because it won't die. This next one is really fun. It's the Dapper Bunny Pillow by One Dog Woof. This one is worked up with super bulky yarn, so it'd work up pretty quickly, and it measures about 14 inches or 35.5 centimeters by 17 inches or 43 centimeters tall. And this one would be perfect to decorate your couch with, or it would also make a really thoughtful gift. This next one is a bunny egg basket by Yarnspirations. The basket measures about 23 inches or 58.5 centimeters around and is 6.5 inches or 16.5 centimeters high, excluding that handle. The basket is worked in the round and you need to be comfortable as well with color work for this piece, so it's a bit more intermediate level. I love the little pom-poms that are used for the tails on this design. And this one would be perfect for a little Easter egg hunt or for displaying some flowers in. A great blanket to make would be this Hippie Hop Bunny Blanket by Yarnspirations. The blanket measures about 26 by 33 inches or 66 by 84 centimeters. It's made using basic stitches and decreasing stitches, so it's pretty quick and easy to whip up. To make it, the bunny head is worked in rounds, and then the blanket is worked in rows. And those bunny ears are also made separately and then sewn onto the head. And this blanket is pretty cute and small, so it would make the perfect statement blanket or a little throw blanket. Or make a bunny garland like this one by Yarnspirations. This one's a bit more intermediate and it requires the front post half double crochet, puff stitch, and single crochet 2 together to create. Each bunny is about 7 by 5 inches or 18 by 13 centimeters, and the bunting is 4 feet 2 inches or 127 centimeters when measured flat. And this one would be perfect for styling with some other spring decor. You could put it on a little wall or display it on a mantle. And now I'll share some more religious patterns with you. First is this lovely lace Bible cover design by Kristen Holloway Designs. It measures 9.5 by 13.5 inches or 24 by 34 centimeters. And this pattern also includes some diagrams, which is very helpful if you like diagrams. There are also some inside pocket panels in this design, which is really thoughtful. And there are also some details on how to customize the size and make it bigger or smaller as you like. Next is the Lace Cross by Maggie's Crochet. I love the lace motifs and thought that this pattern was really beautiful. It measures 4.5 inches wide by 5 inches tall, or 11.5 centimeters wide by 13 centimeters tall. It's made with really thin cotton thread to make that delicate lacy effect, but there are also some really helpful tips on how to stiffen the fabric to finish it off. You could also crochet a rosary like this one by Little House in the Suburbs. This one is also beginner friendly as you only need to know how to make the puff stitch and basic stitches. And this pattern is in English as well as in Spanish, which is really helpful. Another great one to make would be this cross bookmark by Karen's Variety. This one's a bit more intermediate because it does use quite thin thread and uses basic stitches as well as the picot and shell stitch. But this one would definitely be worth the challenge as it creates such a beautiful and lacy design. I also really liked the Blessed Blanket by I Love Knots. For this pattern, you use the corner to corner technique, but it's also good to keep in mind that they use a more untraditional method to create it. There's also a really helpful chart for this one, and you need to know the single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet to make it. It measures 37 inches wide by 43 inches tall, or 94 centimeters by 109 centimeters. And this one took the maker about 21.5 hours to make, so nearly a full day. So it's good to keep in mind that this one would take multiple crafting sessions to make. Or make a nice tapestry like this Easter cross wall hanging by Desert Blossom Crafts. This one uses the tapestry crochet method, so you'll definitely need to be more comfortable with switching colors. It measures 10 inches wide by 13 inches tall, or 25.5 centimeters by 33 centimeters. There are instructions on how to make it with and without fringe. And this one has a YouTube video tutorial for it, which is really helpful for visual learners. Now I'll share some amigurumi patterns with you. First is this bunny basket by Lion Brand. The basket measures 9 inches or 23 centimeters tall and only requires basic stitches to make. You only need to be comfortable working in continuous rounds and then working the handle in rows and then make the bunny ears in the round. Stuffing isn't required for this one, but making pom-poms and a little embroidery is. And this one's actually made using continuous rounds. And so instead of ending out the round with a slip stitch, you'll actually work that first stitch of the next round into the first stitch of the previous round. And what this does is helps all of the rounds to kind of blend in, so you won't be able to tell where each round begins and ends. Another bunny themed piece you could make is this little bunny by Amigurumi Food. You need to be comfortable with increasing, decreasing, and working a bobble stitch in the back loop only. And you do need to use some embroidery for the whiskers and the little nose, as well as some safety eyes to finish this one off. I also love these Easter eggs by Crochet 365 Knit 2. These are pretty quick to whip up and are also worked in the round, and these would be perfect to use all of your little scrap yarns to make. You could also stuff the inside of these eggs with some little tiny yarn scraps to get more mileage out of them. Or you could also make some embroidered Easter eggs like these ones by Zines and Roger. This one is also made in the round and uses a darning needle to make some of those French knots, which are used to create the flower centers, and then some chain stitches for the petals and leaves. And this one would be fun to whip up if you want to explore combining crochet and embroidery. You could also make a fun lamb like the Lily the Easter Lamb by Hobby. This one is a bit more intermediate as the special stitches used here are the front post and back post double crochet, front loop only and back loop only, and the 3 half double crochet puff stitch. This pattern includes instructions on how to make the basket, the handle, a little lamb, and the Easter eggs. The size is about 22 centimeters or 8.5 inches. And I really love the details on this one, from the basket weave sort of design effect to the little embroidered details on the eggs. Or if you want to make a smaller quick piece, you could also make these decorative balls by Teen Summer Hansen. These would be perfect to display in a vase with some other flowers or on a platter. They're made in the round, and this pattern has helpful pictures to help with each step. There are also 2 different sizes, one that is 1 inches or 2.5 centimeters, and the other is 1.5 inches or 3.8 centimeters in diameter. And this one would be perfect to use yarn scraps for, as it only takes about 3 to 6 grams for each ball, depending on which size you make. Well, that's it for the 20 crochet patterns that are perfect to make for Easter. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like below, and also subscribe to join me each week for more crochet inspiration. Subscribe to my monthly newsletter in order to get updates on all things happening here at Cactus Lady Creation. And also feel free to check out this playlist next if you want to see more crochet pattern inspiration. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me in the next one.